All right, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another StarCraft 2 replay cast. It is game number 5 in the Winter 2015 Dreamhack Grand Finals between Solar and PartinG. PartinG has taken game number 1 and 2. Solar took game number 3, and PartinG took game number 4. So we'll see how this game goes. It is all Rena, so it's sort of a strange map. We do have that an island here in the middle, which I suppose favors Terran a little bit, as you can put siege tanks here and attack your opponent. And you can also land a command center there, but also it's really, really close to an enemy base, so it's sort of a strange island there. And the Nexus going up here, gateway coming out, and we'll speed it back up just a scotch here to about the 2-minute mark when all the good stuff starts to happen. And now bringing out a Zealot here. And with the scout, saw that the Zerg really isn't doing any kind of rush play right now. Has the 2 hatcheries coming out. So not really defending his base nearly as well as he did the last game after game number 3, when he took a pretty bad rush and lost the game due to that rush. And so now chrono boosting out those probes, just getting everything saturated up and good to go. And Zergling's now moving out. One's going to take the Zelnaga tower here, force away that probe, but not really going to chase it because it's pretty much not worth it. You never really kill a probe with just a single Zergling. And Zealot moving on out a little bit here too. Not sure what he decides to do. He's going to stand here in and hold position. That's going to be the better bet now. An Adept is coming out shortly for the Protoss. And Zerg simply working on all of the saturation. So the drones just Maynarding over to the individual expansions and such. And now here comes the Adept. And transfers right past that Zergling there. And now forces the other Zergling away, takes the Zelnaga tower. And I really enjoy the Adept. I think it's a very interesting unit. And I'd like to see how the meta plays out later on in the expansion in terms of like months down the road, or a year down the road, or 2. Because the expansion is relatively new. A lot of people haven't gotten the chance to really deeply learn the units down to a real deep intrinsic level. As you know, in RTS, whenever the expansion comes out, it's all the strategies are a little bit goofy. I remember when Heart of the Swarm came out, everybody, even the pros, it took a little while to just get used to exactly what to do and what to use, what not to use. Right now, the Adepts, this is basically what they do, is they just sort of warp in, or ghost, I like to call it ghosting, it's really a psionic transfer, but psionic transfer is harder to say than just ghosting, and it's pretty much ghosting, that's what it looks like. And so that's pretty much just what they've been doing right now, but I'd like to see some really interesting play. Now the Oracle actually has, this game has some cover. And last time he did not have any cover with his Oracle, so we just lost his Oracle. We wasn't able to get too much because the Queens could focus right on that Oracle. But this time he had those 2 Adepts here, so he did a little bit of damage. You'll see how much damage he did. 650 resources in damage, only 225 from the Protoss, so a fair trade there. And a couple of Zerglings now moving on out. And, well, that's amazingly close to that Oracle. I'm surprised he isn't going to destroy that Zergling there. It would only take a couple energy to do so. And Robotics Facility, Twilight Council coming up, and another expansion with 3 of those pylons for overcharging. And now the Zergling's going to spot this expansion, going to go up here and try and do some damage. And we have a few photons coming up. Well, 1 photon and multiple gateways overcharges that pylon. And with the help of the Mothership Core and that overcharged pylon, just going to have to bail out of there. Not really going to be able to do too much. That pylon, photon cannon, well hidden from any Zerglings. And multiple gateways going up. From the past few games, PartinG has been going 8 gateways, so we'll see if he decides to go 8 gateways again this game. We have melee attack level 1, ground weapons level 1 from the Protoss player, and we also have the resonating glaives for those Adepts. And Void Ray out and about on the map, a fairly early Void Ray. It came out a little while ago, and I didn't really mention it, and it took out an Overseer there. And now heading towards the Zerg base. See if he can do any kind of damage. And now taking the extractor there. But I don't think he's going to be able to accomplish too much here. He's just going to get hit by 2 queens, just going to soak up a lot of damage, and just going to have to bail out of there. And Solar, instead of using creep tumors, really just using overlords to throw down that creep. There's some creep tumors here, and now spreading them out a little bit there. And now that Void Ray takes out that 1 Zergling at that Xel'Naga tower. A terrible, terrible loss for the Zerg to lose that 1 Zergling there. And now going to spy in a little bit. Going to see what's going on, and not going to be able to see too much. And Solar sees just about everything around here.
Glory to the Daylom. The firstborn shall persevere.
Upgrade, we face the enemy.
And now tons of Mutalisks on the map for the Zerg player here, 9 of them. Now going after the Protoss base, going straight for the probes. We'll see. Nope, going over this way, but now that shield gonna reduce that damage a little bit too much. Gonna have to go somewhere else. But there is overcharged pylons all over the place here, and just really unable to find a good place to attack. And in production, we have some disruptors. Another Stargate looks like it's coming in here. Level 2 weapons, level 1 flyer attack there for the Zerg, and level 2 melee for the Zerg as well. I'm going to take out the rocks in the center of the map, so there isn't such a tight push there, and able to get to the Protoss expansion a little bit easier. And now looks like he's going to try and harass again now that the overcharge has worn off. And here comes multiple Phoenix, 4 Phoenix, and still pumping them out pretty strong here. Now going to be 6 very soon. And that's going to be a lot of Phoenix here to deal with these Mutalisks. But there are a couple Corruptors there, which will be hard for those Phoenix. So we'll see how this all works now. Pushing up some Zerglings, going to spy a little bit. And now multiple Phoenix in chase of that Mutalisk, unable to outfly them. So both sides a little leery of what to do here. Any Pulse Crystals. And both sides just massing up their armies right now. And so far 20 Mutalisks, 52 Zerglings here, a couple Disruptors, some Adepts and Zealots, 8 Stalkers there. So a very, very mixed army for the Protoss player. And now swarming this expansion here. And this expansion maybe lost so many Mutalisks here to deal with these Phoenix. And the Corruptors are just going to chase those Phoenix off. The Phoenix really don't want to deal with those Corruptors, unable to do too much to them, really. And now the Mutalisks all over the Stalkers here. And we do have that field reducing the damage of those Mutalisks, which usually typically does a lot of reduction, but not against that many Mutalisks. And there was so much bounce there, lost so many units. Now the loss tab here, the Protoss 7,100 to 4,900. So PartinG losing quite a bit in that engagement there. And now Solar is definitely on top of the game, and there's just simply not enough. There's just a couple Phoenix here to deal with all of this air, and a Disruptor there takes out quite a bit of Zerglings, but don't think that's going to be quite enough. Tons of Zealots have been called in here to deal with those Zerglings, and some overcharged pylon over here, but it's a little bit too far away. PartinG says GG, leaving Solar the winner of game number 5 of 7 in the grand finals. Hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.